Good evening, Superintendent Husfeldt, Mr. Stevens, Bay District School Administration Team, Haney instructors, but most importantly, Haney's class of 2015. Thank you very much for the honor and privilege of serving as your keynote speaker. I've been a huge fan of Haney Technical Center because its graduates are ready to enter the workforce fully trained, fully certified, and fully motivated. Tonight, you begin your chapters in American legacy and start building towards your American dream. Some may say the American dream is dead, but I'm here to tell you it's alive and well. The American dream is our nation's ethos. It's based on the ideals that you can be whatever you want to be, achieve whatever you want to achieve. All you have to do is be willing to roll up your sleeves and work hard. And most importantly, to pick yourself up every time you've been knocked down. I'd like to share with you a true story of the American legacy. Quan was only 13 when his father was imprisoned by the French forces in Vietnam. As the oldest of 4 children, he was forced to drop out of school and work to feed his family. Despite working odd jobs all day, he was able to teach himself at night by studying the books of his younger brothers and sister. 10 years later, he earned a scholarship to a small school in Ithaca, New York called Cornell University. After Quan finished his PhD studies, he returned to Vietnam where he rose through the ranks of the Ministry of Agriculture. In 1975, when South Vietnam fell to the communists, he narrowly escaped with his wife and 5 children. They left everything they had behind, except for their shirts and their backs and their hopes and dreams. Through this adversity, Quan and his young family experienced their first taste of American generosity. The Fitzgeralds, an American family of 9, sponsored their family of 7 to live in their home until they could establish themselves in their new country. After months of searching for a job, Quan found work with the U.S. Department of State, but it meant relocating to Africa, where he could use his skills to help underdeveloped countries like Niger, Zaire, Cameroon, Senegal, Guinea, and Madagascar. After 7 years, Quan sent his family back to the United States so his 5 children could learn English and get an American education. He remained in Africa for another 10 years, only seeing his wife and children every 6 months. Quan was bound and determined to endure the hardships of working in a country where electricity was sporadic and water had to run for 15 seconds before turning from mud brown to somewhat clear. He was willing to live a harsh life in order to give his children a chance at the American dream. Because of his selfless sacrifice, all 5 of his children were able to earn graduate degrees. And his son stands before you tonight to tell you the American dream is real. All you need is hard work and determination. My father's story is but one of a million similar stories in American legacy. Benjamin Franklin was the 15th of 17 children of a candle maker. He learned typesetting, opened business, became an inventor, and became our first postmaster general. But his legacy was he helped draft our nation's greatest document, the United States Constitution. Abraham Lincoln grew up in a 1-room log cabin in the Western frontier. He was self-taught, then became a lawyer. He rose to become our 16th president and preserved the Union during our nation's darkest days. Frederick Douglass was a slave who suffered at the hands of a cruel master. He escaped and became the great speaker against slavery, a best-selling author, and the president of Freedom's Bank. He explained success mainly by 3 words: work, work, and work. John D. Rockefeller was the son of a traveling salesman. He began his career as an assistant bookkeeper. After years of saving all his money, he bought oil refineries and amassed a fortune. He donated a large amount of his wealth to help others realize their own American dreams, of which my father was a recipient through the John D. Rockefeller Scholarship. Howard Schultz grew up poor. As the first person in his family to go to college, he embodies his parents' hopes and dreams and built an empire of coffee shop chains across the United States called Starbucks. These are only a few stories of humble beginnings which were overcome through sacrifice and hardship for that one chance to reach the American dream and become a piece of the American legacy. When I look out today, I see those dreams in you. Some of you have suffered through the trials and tribulations, but you never gave up. This is the foundation of perseverance. You have chosen a path in life that allows you to stand firmly on your own 2 feet immediately after graduation and not have to rely on anyone. Every time I walk through Haney, I become more and more amazed at what is taught here. When I walk through the Automotive Services Technology Department or Automotive Collision Repair and watch students rebuilding an engine or repairing a car, I see young men and women who help Americans get to work every day. You leave here with ASE certifications which allow you to walk into any auto shop tomorrow. As I walk through the aircraft, airframe, and power plant mechanics shops, I see FAA certified technicians working on aircrafts that take us from coast to coast and overseas. And I can't help but think how an idea from 2 bicycle shop owners later allowed Charles Lindbergh to fly across the Atlantic and for Neil Armstrong to walk on the moon. Where will you lead us next? What is the next frontier that you'll allow us to cross? Since more than 70% of our world is covered with water, your marine services technicians allow us to traverse the 7 seas and ship our goods across the globe. In your IT department, your computer systems technicians repair the most vital tool in this digital world. And your digital design team brings to life the things on a 3D printer that used to be just a science fiction fantasy in Star Trek. Your welders, electricians, and HVAC technicians build and repair our ships, our cars, our homes, and our buildings. You're building America with your own hands. Your certified LPNs care for our sick and elderly every day. A thankless job. Your licensed massage therapists are in the front lines of integrated medicine and lead the way in holistic healthcare. The skills of a cosmetologist are so unique that it first calls before a wedding, an important job interview, or just a boost of self-confidence and pampering to face the daily challenges of a busy world. Finally, your account operations, medical administrative specialists, administrative office specialists help keep our American business running smoothly and efficiently. Haney graduates, you understand that the American dream is earned through hard work and perseverance. You've taken a different path than most of your peers, a path that will lead each and every one of you to your own American dream and our collective American legacy. What will it be? Will you one day invent something great like Samuel Morse, whose telegraph helped us transmit ideas from coast to coast? Will you innovate technology and make things better? Or will you open a business and give opportunities to others, like Walt Disney, whose creation of the theme park not only continues to employ thousands of people, but highlights the best in all of us in a place called Main Street, USA. Whatever path you may choose, always follow your hearts. Go after your American dream with all your might and all your passion. I know my parents would have preferred that their only son become a doctor or an engineer, but I too chose my own path. I serve in the forces which guard our country and our way of life because I believe in the American dream. I couldn't think of a better way to thank this great nation for the opportunities it gave my family. For more than 40 years, I've traveled the world, but I've yet to encounter anything equal to the American generosity, which is why I believe this is the greatest nation on the face of this earth. Others may hate us because we stand for liberty and freedom. We don't look down on others because of race, religion, or creed. They hate us because we're not afraid of rolling up our sleeves and doing hard work. We're Americans, not Americans. We find a way or make a way. That has been our legacy for 240 years. That is our American legacy. I believe the American dream because I see great Americans sitting in front of me who are willing to work hard. Your legacy doesn't have to be giving millions of dollars away like J.D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, Steve Jobs, or Bill Gates. You don't have to be rich or powerful to make a difference. Let me remind you of a man born in an obscure village to a young peasant woman. He never owned a home. He never went to college and never had a family. He never traveled more than 200 miles from his birthplace. He worked in a carpenter shop until he was 30. He never accomplished all the things we equate to success. Yet, in one selfless act of love, he died on a cross and washed away all my sins and became my Lord, and I call him Master. More than 2,000 years later, he has done more for this world than any king, any president, any rich man, or any nation. Your legacy can be that you helped your neighbor fix their house, or their car, or their computer. Your legacy can be that you built a business and created jobs. You can be like the Fitzgeralds, who took in a family of Vietnamese refugees 40 years ago and gave them a chance at the American dream. But one of the best legacies you can leave behind is to teach your children what it means to be an American and be proud of our nation. Teach them that freedom isn't free, but there are men and women like myself who are willing to pay the price every day. Because I know what it's like to not have a home, not have a country, or even a flag to fall under. But rest assured, that'll never, ever happen to you. Not under my watch. Before I close tonight, I would like to give a personal shout out. Sitting amongst you tonight is a man named Danny Lamb. Danny was a Navy hospital corpsman who cared for thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen at my command. He was the last caregiver to Carl Brashear, the first black Navy master diver, famously portrayed by Cuba Gooding Jr. in Men of Honor. Danny left the Navy and is graduating tonight to continue his calling to care for others. But for me, I'll always remember that he made me a better man because he's my friend. Thank you, Haney graduates, for making this country great and something worth fighting for. May God bless you in your pursuit of the American dream and as you write your chapter in our American legacy.